One of the biggest things about Monster Power is the way we actually protect our customers against surges and over voltages and things like that. But one of the coolest features we have is what we call T2 circuitry. Not only does it disconnect after catastrophic overloads, but it also reconnects. So good examples is like you got a power line falls outside your house or a lightning strike down the street. Do you want 180 volts in your television? No, that's why Monster Power is going to do a great job. It's actually going to disconnect, but after everything's back to 120 volts again, it will reconnect. So that's a cool feature. So let's take a look at this. I have a demo for you. We have a voltage regulator here, and what I'm going to do is actually adjust the voltage up on both of these products. I have a Monster product as well as a competitor piece, and you'll see the light bulbs come on, and that's supposed to be like your consumer electronic system that you have at home. So let me go ahead and jump this up to around 120 volts, which is what everything's supposed to run at. And let's see if you notice that both units actually do an okay job with this, that we actually will wait till the voltage is at around 120 and everything's good, and then both will pop on your products. So that's good. But what about that over voltage as we mentioned earlier? Let's take a look at this one. If you take a look at the voltage meter, we're now going to jump this up to 130 volts or so. Monster Power actually disconnects. So we did not allow that voltage to go to television. That's awesome that we're able to protect that product. But what about the other guy? Still going. Still allowing more of that voltage to go. Let's see how high it'll actually go. And in this case, this particular manufacturer actually did disconnect around 140, 145 volts on that product. So that's not good. But here's the other cool thing about Monster Power, because not only did it disconnect, but it also will reconnect. And I'm now going to jump this back down to 120 volts. And if you notice that both of the products are now starting to blink, waiting until it's stable, and then actually will pop on the products again. So this is what's great about Monster Power and T2 circuitry, that we will reconnect after a catastrophic overload. All right, so it's one thing that we actually disconnected and reconnected with regular wiring, but have you ever had reverse polarity? You may say, well, what is that? Have you ever maybe taken out a light switch or maybe an outlet in your house because you wanted almond instead of white? So you take that outlet out and you put the new one in, but maybe we didn't connect the black with the black and the white with the white the right way, because that can actually be reverse polarity if you switch it around. So in this case, we may have a problem where the white is actually connected to the black and the black is connected to the white. That's what we call the reverse polarity on this case. So I actually have a switch I'm going to actually put on our demo here that will now reverse the polarity. But let's see what happens when we now do that same demo that we did before. And this runs up the voltage to 120 again. And notice on the left-hand side, we have power already going to that system. That's not really good, but both units still waited until the voltage was correct before they actually kicked on. But let's see what happened. Monster did disconnect at 130 earlier. Let's see if we still do it again. And at 130, we actually still disconnect. But the other product's still going just like it did before, but it was at 140, right? Well, let's see what happens. Here we go all the way to 140. Oh, notice that the product itself actually disconnected, but what happened? The lights are still on. So your system is still getting that over voltage just because of that reverse wiring. It will not disconnect on the neutral side of that wiring. And this happens all the time. You got $8 an hour guys who are doing new housing wiring. You got your do-it-yourselfers who do it. If this is the case, what if this is 180, 200, 300 volts are now going through your system and went right through this $299 competitor's model and right into your system? That's not good. So we got to make sure we talk about T2 circuitry with our customers. Not only do we disconnect and reconnect regular wiring, but also if it's reverse polarity.